anyways, so we'll go ahead and get started on our engineer discussion. Where do you guys want to start, or?
Beginning.
At the beginning?
I remember that.
Well, I read the proposal that John sent out. Did you guys get a copy of that too? I think the only thing that I had concerns about was the amount of money he
Okay.
had in there. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are.
Yeah, I think he said,
He's
he
fine.
wishes he'd have left that blank, because
Yeah.
he felt like there was too much focus on that. And we didn't really talk about the rest of the contract. Is there any issues with the rest of the contract?
No, the rest of it I had no problem.
Well, and we talked, and what I said at the last meeting is, I don't mind sharing, you know, to help you guys out, not necessarily indefinitely, I guess, and I don't know that, but my biggest thing is, I don't want to pay two-thirds of the wages and only have somebody half the time.
But we're paying,
At
we're paying
that,
half.
at that,
You're confusing the public. I've seen the post on this.
no, but
We're paying half, they're paying half.
Right.
We're not paying 2/3 and they're paying 1/3. We're both paying half.
I know, but we're paying two-thirds, we'll be paying two-thirds of what we were before, which I'm okay with, but not at 208,000. Because if he's working 20 hours for us and 20 hours for you, if you figure that out by the hour at the wage, that's 208,000. That's a lot of money. And my other concern is getting everything done in 20 hours for us and 20 hours for you. And I get some of it would be, you know, he'd be sitting in our office and he actually would be doing stuff for you guys, which is fine, and vice versa. But I'm not okay with it. I mean, I don't necessarily know if the taxpayers are okay with it at that much money.
I guess on the wage thought, my thought on the wages are, that's something that you guys kind of present to us on what will work.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he put the 208,800 on there because it was easy numbers for him to do the math. 2,088 hours. That's why he did that. So I'm kind of like Tony. We can talk about the wage. The rest of the contract I like. I like the fact that it gives us opportunity. If it doesn't work for you guys, we can say 30 days and we're done with it. Same with John, same with us. I think it gives us an opportunity to save both counties a lot of money. I also think it takes John off the market. At 153,000, he could have the private market come to him and pull him away from us in no time at all.
Right.
Putting him at this, if we get him up to 200,000 even, I think takes him away from the private market, picking him away from us.
That sounds like he's talking 5 to 7 years.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I
That
think
he would
that's,
be in the, still be in the.
You guys are still looking.
Right.
they're gonna keep the job posted, yeah.
Well, and that, but as far as when we do get down to wages, as far as if you guys are gonna accept it, it's gotta be a figure that you guys can live with for your taxpayers. You know, like, okay, 208,000 was gonna cost you guys 135,000 for a part-time engineer. And so I guess my thought is, I'm thinking, I mean, we all know.
Well, what I'm meaning by that is, it's a figure, in my eyes, a figure that you guys are gonna have to come up with that'll work with him and you guys, and then you present that to us, and then we look at it, versus us being in on the figuring of it, because he's an employee of your county.
You're gonna reimburse
35,000 last time, we lost an engineer, we lost everything. There was no money flow, no progress getting done. That's ours, your people in the public.
Yeah.
I think they'd understand, I might be wrong, right, you're in the public, but we lose everything once we lose that engineer.
Where'd you get your Bex coat?
We grow for Bex.
You do? That's what I saw for.
I wonder when you had that shirt, you were talking about seed
So
sales.
I mean, that's my reasoning behind what it said. Now, yes, that's got a pencil for us too, but,
Right.
you know, if we're paying an engineer $145,000 the time they have family insurance, we're looking at $205,000 actual
are.
cost,
Mhm.
FICA, IPERS, insurance and everything else, so.
Vehicle, I mean, yeah.
Vehicle.
Plus the vehicle.
And you're competing against the private market to try and get somebody
Exactly.
hired.
Yes, yes.
That's-
Now, in a situation where we can share, if the opportunity arose and we wanted to hire a young person, and then they'd have a mentor, which they have to have 4 years of mentoring, now that's a feasible option.
That's true.
At the dollar amounts we're working, we can't afford to hire 2 engineers.
No, and realistically,
We can't
we're
justify it.
$20,000 under the market value of John.
And
Where he's at now.
With this deal, we know what we're getting.
Yeah.
Your guy's a good guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he
We
came
go
from
out to
Pot
market
County, so
again,
area-wise, I don't
And
think.
we hire what we got last
So
time.
he's handled way more.
This is the
than-
size and number of employees he had before, between the two counties.
Right. So our philosophy, I mean, you sit across from us and we interview you, and we sign a 1-year or 3-year contract versus, even in this deal, 30 days, hey, it's not working, what have we lost? We're not out anything. You
And
know,
I
in that
think if you
respect.
post the job at 120,000 and somebody comes along and says, I want that job, you're still better off hiring that person.
Yep.
The other problem I had was, as far as the vehicle, that's the part I'm not super comfortable with. Would you provide a vehicle for him to drive from Harrison up here?
I think it would just be a mileage thing probably.
A reimbursement. Yeah.
Mileage reimbursement would be a lot simpler than,
Yes.
otherwise you'd have another vehicle sitting down there.
But if he gets called away, then he's got to go home and switch vehicles, and that's,
I would think we could work something out on
I
mileage.
don't think that'd be a problem at all.
As
no.
long as it's a temporary thing, I would be okay with that. But long-term, we end up replacing our vehicle sooner because he's
If you
putting more
get,
miles on
if
it.
you get mileage on it,
Yeah.
you're,
Like we have with the state of Monona with our police force, every so often they're buying a vehicle.
Yeah.
We,
You have to
figure something
replace
out,
them. Yeah.
prorate out, what have you, and so much a year towards the vehicle, and there you go. I mean,
because that's the thing too, I don't know how
Maybe you
you.
park a vehicle at county line and he gets out of yours and gets into ours to come
Nah,
here. I
No.
mean, how can you,
Well,
That
that's
now you're
doesn't make
wasting our
sense
time
either.
and their
And
time.
you can't
Right.
own, 2 counties aren't gonna own a vehicle
No.
because liability
No.
purposes, that's not gonna work,
Right,
so
so-
it'd be a lot cleaner just to do mileage, I would think.
Yes.
Now, if you got here with your vehicle and wanted to get in one of ours and go to project or something,
Yeah.
that might be something that could work out.
right,
Yeah, I
Well,
don't,
when
I
was
still
that?
don't even see that working, because he might go to the project
He
and
might just go
home.
around that
Yeah.
way, I get it, yeah, some days,
And when I talked to him, he said he just tracked mileage.
yeah.
Right.
He likes his own vehicle too, I'm
Yeah.
sure, so
Yeah.
everybody does.
Yeah, and you have your tools in there, and then you gotta put more tools in it.
Right. We have a superintendent hired, when I was down talking to Brian, we hadn't hired one yet, but we do have a superintendent hired.
That'll help a lot.
He has been in the county for years, has been a foreman, so he knows the county, so we don't have a new learning curve of learning everybody and learning the area and stuff like that, so that helps expedite
Yeah.
that process a bunch.
Yeah, I think that's the key to this being successful, is that middle management.
Correct. So I guess our thinking in that respect is the superintendent handles the day-to-day, hands-on, the management issues, personnel, whatever, so the engineer can do his job. Not saying that he wouldn't support that or maybe have some involvement, I'm sure he does in your county also, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the other side of it, looking for grants.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I was very impressed with talking to John when we sat down there. He talked about the grant writing, different grants that they went after when he was at Pot County, and those are the things that we need to, and the ability when we do have jobs, being able to let them, and by having that county engineer,
It would be nice if there was grants that became available if you had a sharing agreement.
and maybe that's,
That might be something we see with the state and their property tax
Maybe.
reform, is that could be a possibility.
because you're seeing more counties,
they're pushing it for us to share,
He wants to share everything.
share county attorney, share,
well, and then they, even,
can
bundling the bridges, that's
Yeah.
a kind of an example where they, well, we also know too, when you get a contractor in, mobilization's a big thing. If you have joining contractors where you can coordinate your projects,
One mobilization fee.
that might save a lot of money.
But the concern it's not you guys' concern, it will be something we have to take into consideration is on the wages, because we don't have a superintendent, so is that gonna make it so that the road foremen are the quote superintendent from, on the day-to-days?
They are now anyway.
I mean, yeah,
No employee issues should ever have to come to the engineer. That should all be handled before the engineer. Like Mo said, he should be handling
All the day-to-day.
reports and grants.
So
and those
basically,
things.
in my eyes, of course, man, we're set up different than you guys. We've got 3 different sheds, so we've got, well, 4 counting our mechanic shops, so we've got 4 foremans. In that respect, we have one that handles the shop, and then we have 1 at each shed. So there's 3 separate.
We just have
sheds.
2 foremen, basically 2
Over
foremen.
7 sheds.
North County, South County, split it up.
Okay, so then our superintendent oversees all of them.
Yeah.
So basically, the engineer would say, okay, where's this, I mean, he's in direct communication with him. Once he takes it from there,
Yeah.
you know.
We have
Other
a
than
main
the,
foreman and an assistant foreman.
Yeah.
other than the engineering stuff that he would have to, and then we also have a tech in the office that does our surveying, different things like that. He's got qualifications on different inspections and stuff that he's qualified for,
Yeah, we
so.
have that too, so
So
it helps a
then,
lot.
yes, so that also takes time, or saves time from the engineer being tied up, you know, in different things that way. We have our own
I
lab
would-
set up for concrete
I
breakings
would
and
like
all
to see
that.
this work out very successfully, and maybe at some point, the county is looking at sharing that engineering staff as well, and perhaps being able to engineer our own projects. Right now, none of our counties can engineer our own projects because we don't have the staff in the office.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get to a point where we can share some of that staff as well.
You guys have a bridge crew?
We do.
Just 2 people.
Yeah.
And what does that consist of? What do you,
You know,
they just primarily?
We've been doing some decking stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, you have been,
Yeah.
okay.
Anything bigger than that, we did that bridge up in Laredo. Everybody piled it on that one. We did that ourselves.
Yeah. We had a driver for the piling,
Yeah.
but we don't have a way to test
The pressure.
force and pressure on it.
I see.
So we probably overdo it just to be safe.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
you're
then are they qualified to inspect bridges and stuff too? Have they-
We actually have a company that does that.
You have your own company
Yeah.
that's similar to what we
just
do.
go to
We just
Calhoun
changed the
and-
newest.
Calhoun Burns, that's who we've been with.
We just picked
for
them up,
years.
yeah.
just
Yeah,
so
we
we're
saved
clear,
$40,000 switching to them.
Mhm.
so we're clear, Brian, you don't want it to be temporary, you want it to be,
I'm fine with this temporary agreement to see how it works. And
Yeah.
if it's successful, then I think we continue this and save money for both counties.
temporary for
It's a
either the
1-year,
30 days or
this
the
is a
1
1-year
year.
agreement with 30 days
30-day
notice
cancel.
that any party can get out of it.
Okay,
I
Yeah,
think it's
that's-
pretty safe to try it.
Mhm.
I know since Brian came on, this has been something you wanted to.
Yeah, I campaigned on this,
Yeah.
but this is temporary, as we've said.
I know we talked about it before when we were lacking them. It just
Yeah.
didn't work out, you know.
And maybe it'll work better to pay a little less and get an assistant engineer, a new one. And that way it might build
Well,
that
that opened the
person
door up for that.
For that, yeah.
Exactly.
When this engineer retires, there's
Somebody else to come
You'd already have somebody that would already be mentored
Yeah.
and already be right there to step in, because otherwise you're not gonna find, well, you could find that person, but you gotta mentor them.
And John's working right now, we approved him to have an intern this summer. For 12 weeks, he'll have an intern from Iowa State coming in and working with us.
He's a local kid too, that's what you
Yeah.
want, somebody's gonna stick
Right.
around.
Oh, exactly.
so, as far as an assistant, you're saying an assistant eventually,
For both counties, somebody that we could, if this works out, we begin to build that person to replace John.
Mhm.
and that's my concern for us, as far as, if you're saving 70,000, let's just go off of what John's figures were. If you're saving 70,000, you're gonna end up just putting it right back into an assistant.
But if you're building that guy up, then you're eventually gonna lose that high wage and you're only gonna have the assistant. He'll move up. It's a short-term thing, but you gotta pay for it sometime to get that.
You're
4
better off
years.
having an assistant under your engineer now.
Right.
He's gonna learn your county,
Right.
what you folks like, and he'll step into that job. If you go out and hire an engineer,
You're gonna
after
start
he
all
leaves,
over.
But if
you'll
this
be in our
works-
boat, you can be in our boat.
Right.
If this works, we
Business
can share
101.
that assistant
You're
engineer.
training your person to, you know, I
If this works.
love that part of it. Because
And
you
then-
got 4 years, it takes 4 years for that kid to
Yep.
become that
I mean,
engineer.
it'll cost you half of that cost, but still, we're
Well,
building
and
something.
you could hire one that's got his 4 years mentoring,
Yeah.
he's not ready.
No,
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 When we had an engineer briefly,
so we both take
very
that
smart, but
savings
just no
and
experience
put
in
it into a
secondary
system.
roads.
So
Yeah.
That's a big, when you come
We're
from
taking that
different-
savings and got our superintendent back, which we had before, so it's not really the savings.
But if you got an engineer that you're happy with and he's doing a good job, that's the guy you want to be training your,
And I think if it's gonna work,
You
that's
wanna
the other
keep
thing,
him
is
happy.
it has to be the right person, and I think we have the right person.
yeah.
especially where he came from.
Yeah.
Like you said, he was working with that many people
Yeah,
before.
this will be the same number of employees for him that he had before.
Right.
In the same geographic area.
That makes a big difference. Yep.
And he's successful at it.
Yes,
Yes, and I really like his budgeting.
much better.
Because he'd been at Pot County for 21 years, if I
Yes, and
remember
before
right.
that, he was at Montgomery County, so he's worked with tighter county budgets as
Right.
well. And that was one of our concerns when we brought him on, was
Right,
our budget's
from a
not
big
quite what Pot
county.
County's is.
right.
He has that experience and knows.
That's where I thought it was interesting when he was talking about how much grants, even from Pot County, they went after a lot of grant,
Yeah.
a lot of grant work.
And he says that's a big part of his job is to write grants.
I agree. Well, that's where we would benefit greatly, and you guys too,
Yes.
from that. And down the road, if he has a staff that works well together, why would you not capitalize that? I mean, if you can do that in-house and not have to hire that done out,
And
that's a
part of
savings.
his plan with this intern is to have him work on some grant work.
Mhm.
Summers.
But I
We're hoping
mean,
to have that position pay for itself.
right, but I mean, like what you were talking about, working on, like your internal staff, if you'd combine the counties, maybe you'd go work on a project together type, that brings your manpower
How many
on.
draftsmen do you need, you know?
Right, but you're also not hiring another person or hiring another firm to do that if you can do that in-house, you know, if that's
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah, this has the
We used
potential
to have a
save a lot.
staking crew and a bridge inspector
Yep, bridge inspector would be a big one.
back in the day.
And he had that, so that was his goal at Pot County was, John's more of a road engineer, his assistant was a bridge guy.
Mhm.
So he had an engineer there for bridges.
Right.
So if we were ever to look at that assistant side of it,
That
that
might
would be
be
something he
something
would
to
bring in as.
specialize.
who could Bring something to the table that he
Right,
doesn't already
helps
have.
all out there.
Pot County, Pot County doesn't have that now, because when John left, he left too.
Yes.
Oh.
but you're talking share the assistant too, that way
Yes.
one could be at Harrison County at some point, and one could be at Monona, and then.
Especially if this whole thing works and builds together, then, yeah. We got more money together to throw at people to get good people hired
And that's the other thing. is
and
we
build
can
it, and
attract-
build a team.
Well, and then like you said too, by offering them more money, now you kept them there.
Mhm.
If you don't, they're gone.
Oh, yeah.
When we posted for this position, our salary range was 130 to 150, and we had one applicant.
Mhm.
Or if you throw $200,000 on the table, I think you're gonna see a bigger draw.
Even with
Well,
the two
there's,
counties.
I got
Yes.
7 or 8 counties that are sharing right now, there's
Yeah.
a reason why that's
I know,
going
at one
on.
time it was up around 12, I think.
Yeah.
He kind of tailored this on, was it Dubuque and,
Clinton.
yeah.
Yeah, and Bo's talked to us.
I talked to Adair County, Adair and Adams share, and I talked to the engineer at Adair, and he said there was a little pushback from their supervisors when they started it, but he said after they seen it work smooth, he said we have no issues at all. Now, how they do it, they do a quarterly payment, it's just, every county does it. I've talked to some other counties where maybe one does a vehicle, one does insurance, I mean, there's just different ways, but he thought that was a cleaner way to do it, whether you did monthly or quarterly or whatever, but that way he stays as a
Employee on this one.
employee
side.
of that one county, similar to what you guys are talking about. He said, I think that just keeps
Reimburse
everything
it.
cleaner that way, and then they just reimburse
I
them,
agree.
so.
What number do you guys have in your head for a salary?
We're kinda at the, I mean,
We're all
I don't
in this
know that we
together.
have a number.
I don't have a number, I think it's kind of.
It's kinda up
between you and
to
your
what,
man.
what works for you guys, and then we need to look at that and say, hey, that works for us,
Can
because,
we afford that, or should we talk again,
you know,
That's,
Tony, did you have a number in your head?
Well, I was at 200, but I wanted to make sure it was, if we didn't shock you guys, I want you to think about that, so we don't shock you. That's kind of where I'm at.
I think we need to start a little lower.
I wouldn't go below 200.
but we know what we,
What were we paying, 145?
143. So with,
It's been 100.
with ours, when you do the 4% raise the 1st of July and then go to, if they had family insurance, that'd be over 205,000 with FICA and IFRS.
What it's costing the county?
That's what it
Or
actually
was
costs.
Yeah, actually.
you're talking 200
Salary,
plus,
plus the benefits.
So right now, this figure was 208 plus benefits, figured out 138,000 apiece, right?
139.
Yeah. By us going to
137.
200,000 with all the FICA, IFRS, and insurance, we're gonna be at 135 versus we're close to 200 right
200
now.
now.
Yeah, actual expense.
Yeah.
So you knock 65,000 off right there.
Yep.
So on your vehicle, like you're concerned about that, if you do mileage, you're holding your own on that.
And that's not a big, mileage, it's,
Yeah.
not a big cost for you.
And when we had talked, if I'm still under the agreement, 2 and 2 with a floating day, the way John had talked.
Yeah.
So that
Oh, yeah,
floating day, naturally, he's gonna go where he needs
Yeah.
to. Because the first thing he'd ask me was, are you fine if I'm down here, but I'm handling the emails, I'm not in the, I said, no, we have no problem with that.
I don't think you're gonna see him absent from your county. If you need to pick up the phone, today's technology world, he's in
Exactly, it
both
doesn't matter
counties
where
every
you're
day.
at.
Yeah.
And he'll be
I got
up
a
to
question.
guide the
Do your-
staff.
Do your foreman
Yeah.
call him a lot?
I don't know if they really do it or not.
They talk a
Without-
little bit in the morning, and then our
Okay,
guys in the
good.
road.
I don't wanna get into a lot of,
I don't want our guys calling and bugging him all the
I
time.
don't either.
We're gonna have to set something down.
I think
Dave is your point of contact.
Superintendent, that's who you deal with.
I don't wanna get into a lot of his personal stuff and talking about his performance, but
Right.
John is very much about the chain of command.
Yes.
And he doesn't micromanage. He wants to let the people who are supposed to handle their job do their job.
Yeah.
Do you guys get a lot of phone calls and
Oh, a few.
From a
That's-
few group, I mean,
Yeah.
small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
My understanding for us though is that we're supposed to talk to John, like if we have people call us.
Yes, and he
complain,
passes
we
it on.
talk to
Yeah,
John.
that's a chain of command though. That's
Yeah.
you down to him and then,
And
And he
he's-
talks to the foreman.
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
How do you handle your employees signing in and out? Just a curious question.
They do it on their phones.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
So we have Fleetio, well, no, that's through Tyler,
Yeah.
right?
ESS.
ESS, they do it on their phones.
I've got complaints from 2 sheds because we still write it down.
That's how they were doing it.
So guys will come in, still write it down at 8 even though they're late.
Yeah, that happens.
But how do you know that?
Geo tracking. It puts on there where they signed in from.
Right now?
No, right now it's just paper.
But that's what I'm asking you. How do you know that people do that?
2
Okay.
different sheds came to me. Well, actually, I go out to the sheds.
But I thought we were supposed to talk to John.
They
No,
still
I
have
took
to
them
go meet the
donuts.
employees.
I took them donuts and they actually brought me a sign. So I passed it off to John.
Yeah.
So they do their phones or remote.
You want donuts, don't you, Tom?
We've got remote
Can you let
sheds.
Tom know when you're doing that?
He'll drive down.
I actually took all the sheds donuts once, so you have to blame me for that.
We have remote sheds
Nothing
where
wrong
just
with
our
that.
graders are at, that don't come into the
Right.
sheds.
We've got one like that over on the Shelby border.
So then we use Fleetio on their phones, so that's when they enter their fuel and all that, and then the shop can put maintenance reminders on there, hey, you're coming up with an oil change. They log all their hours, all that fuel
Yeah.
consumption, all that stuff
But
on
you got a
that.
little bit of pushback on that, right? People that didn't want to use their phones.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll have the same thing.
We did, but once we explained it to them, that if they wanted to drive in, the one was from Whiting, if you want to drive in on your own time and turn your time in every night, and drive back home on your own time, you don't have to use your phone, that's entirely up to you.
There
Yeah,
is-
can use his phone.
You have discussed putting in time clocks, so.
We haven't discussed
We
putting
have,
time
yeah.
clocks in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we have the same issue, I guarantee you with the writing, that
Yeah.
happens.
But I mean, wouldn't that be a lot cheaper solution?
Time clocks?
Yeah.
No, because we don't have internet at our grader sheds, so we'd have to add internet to the grader sheds.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to walk out there and get the information every day.
So we rely on our foreman to keep a handle on that.
Yeah, we don't have any internet
You
either.
can do the geofencing on the phones, you can do that, and then they're within so many feet of that and then that's how they enter their time. You can do that too, instead of a time clock. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but we don't have internet, so we've got Albaiton, Whiting, Castana, Blanco, Moorhead, Turin. We've got 6 sheds. Well, we'd have to spend $100 a month on the internet,
We talked about same.
so it's not feasible. Now, we do have internet at each one of our foreman sheds, the 3 sheds, so that would work there, but we don't have it at the greater sheds.
So then do you end up having to give them a cell phone stipend if you
No.
require them to
No,
go
we don't
or
do
something?
that, nope. Because they don't have to use their phone. If they don't want to use their phone, they can drive to the,
In our case,
So
they'd have to
there's-
drive to Logan to the engineer's office,
they could drive to their shed and turn their time in.
then drive home on their own.
On their
Because they're
own.
supposed to turn their time in every day. So, we've had that conversation, because we had a couple of them said, you have to provide us with a phone. No, we don't. We're not telling you, you have to use your phone.
No, and once you provide that stipend, then their phone
You just
becomes
open up can of
subject to
worms.
public record.
We've
They already
got
are
the same
public
problem.
record.
With another section, we've got that stipend
Yeah.
thing. It's-
We did the stipend for a while and we got away from it. It's
Yeah.
just more hassle than it is. But you're not telling them they have to use their phone. That's just giving them
An option,
an option,
Rather than drive somewhere.
and then drive somewhere.
and then they can clock in wherever they are.
They have to get on the internet, the computer that's at the shed
Yeah,
and sign in.
so they'd have to drive, if they'd have to drive to their shed, or if you had them drive to Logan, or whatever you did. I mean, like in our case, the guy was from Whiting, who was complaining, he's out of the Alamo shed. So he lives in Rodney, so it's quicker for him to go to Whiting, but if you want to drive to Alamo every night and turn your time in, you sure can do that. I'll let you leave 10 minutes early from Whiting, but you're gonna drive home on your own time, in your own vehicle. Because we don't provide, county vehicles to drive to remote sheds. So, once they were reminded that they were allowed to do that, there's nothing mandated in the contract or anything like that. If they're no longer the grader operator in Whiting, that doesn't mean they could go back and be a truck driver in Ottawa.
Sure.
If so be it. So there's no guarantees that way.
We're getting so many younger ones anymore that it's no big deal to them, you know?
To go on their phone.
Yeah.
Right. I thought it was interesting when I came on as a supervisor that they still do time like they did back in the 40s. You know,
Yeah.
they just wrote on it.
Yeah, we're talking about putting fax machines in the sheds.
Well, the fax machine is because I was out there one morning, about 7:20, and they're sitting around you. I said, what are you guys waiting for? Oh, waiting for the foreman to call us and tell us what to do for the day. So he's talking about putting fax machines in, have the foreman send it the night before. So when they come in, they know what they're supposed to do.
I don't know if they have a whiteboard, I think ours have a whiteboard that they write on the day before what they're supposed to do.
I mean, think there's nothing big, look at the whiteboard, oh, there's 5
Yeah.
things listed right there.
There's a few things to tighten up, and John's aware of it. It'll probably be the same way up here, so.
My biggest concern, I know I'm beating a dead horse, but, my biggest concern about starting at 200 is just like we did with the IT. We started at 90 and we ended up coming up to 97, so I guess, because we know there's a possibility that John's gonna come back with a counteroffer. So that's why I would wanna start,
Where are you wanting to start at?
well, you know
This is
where I
his
want to
number
start.
here, right, John?
His was 208.
208.
Yeah, that's what, in the contract, that's what I'm looking at.
Which he said he's not stuck on that number, he just used that
Yeah.
number for easy math, and he wishes he'd have left it blank now.
Let us decide.
I would, I would start a lot lower, but in the interest of actually a reasonable number that you guys maybe could get on board with, I would start with 180.
What
But
you making
that's-
now?
153. That's a $27,000 raise.
So you gonna stay at
A lot more
150?
work, trust me. it is.
And he's
Yeah,
taking on 2
budgets.
counties.
What was your number?
180.
180.
I think that's a slap in his face.
Yeah, I don't want it.
You want to double his responsibility.
Well, there's no guarantees he's gonna stay where he's at 153 either, is there?
No.
If the offer come along? I mean,
A good offer, and as smart as he is,
He
I'm
likes
surprised
it.
they're
He
not.
likes
We
the
walk
road
in and
system.
offer him 180, he's telling them Monona County, isn't
Yeah.
Go 190.
Possibility.
Maybe you
You
say 200.
can't, it's on a
you
3-year
know?
contract.
He
Can
can
he
get
break
out of
his
that.
contract?
He can break
He
it,
can
With
do-
like 30 days, 60-day notice, so he
30-day
can break
notice.
it, yeah.
yeah.
We're way out of contract.
We're way out of contract.
But he
We've
said,
been
but he
here.
said, he also said in his, that letter that he sent, he said he's happy staying with it just Harrison County too, so.
Right.
Cause I don't think he's gonna break his contract over a $27,000 raise.
We can go back.
Yeah,
Make a-
put it down for Thursday's meeting, Michelle.
The problem we keep having is people say, well, these counties are doing this, these counties are doing this, these counties are doing this, and so we all keep raising all our prices. And
We're
then
not raising prices.
other counties come back with, well, Harrison County's doing this, Harrison County's doing this, and so then it's like this vicious cycle of wages getting higher and higher.
The only place that's happening is the back to blue law.
Problem is, if we don't follow through with it, we're gonna lose our employees.
Yes.
But I don't think we'll lose John over 180,000.
But
I know,
would John
Or
take
even,
it?
I don't
even
know.
if,
Our
even
problem
if he
is,
counters.
our
I
problem
don't
is
know.
when you realize that you have to pay to get good people. If you got good people, you better pay to keep them.
That's right.
Because
And it pays to have good people.
we've spent the money with the anticipation of getting good people, and we didn't get good people,
Yeah.
so it's tough to find.
Right, but if he counter offers, and the other thing is you have to consider is if we end up doing this, like, you know, if we can come to, if it works, where are you gonna go with raises in the future?
Well,
There was
wages,
3 ifs there.
Yeah.
Talk about that IT guy, you're just getting your feet wet there.
Yeah.
What's gonna cost you?
And, yes,
just to get caught up,
Oh, you're just getting your feet wet.
just to get caught up is gonna cost me.
The best thing we ever did.
Yeah.
well,
that's what everybody told us.
and we went through a stage there where we about lost him, and we
Yeah.
sat down and had a heart to heart, and we bumped his wages up, because we didn't wanna lose him.
Well, he's leaving.
And I guarantee you, that's a competitive field, but.
I think if you go out and look at the market, I really do, look at the market,
Mm-hmm.
we're right along with the market. And even our road crews are making less money. We used to get 10 applications for it. We had, what, 2 last time?
Same thing we run into.
I mean, we're just not getting people anymore.
At one time,
And
the
you're
only
not
time
getting
you get a
involved.
job is when somebody retired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you don't get too many for office staff.
yeah, we don't anymore.
You know,
We can't
Everybody
compete.
wanted a job
with
with
the
the
private
county
sector.
back in the day.
Private sector's paying so much.
So one thing
more.
we did, we're set up where we can train our own for the CDL, because,
Yeah.
let's face it, you're not, if you have a good candidate and you don't have a CDL, you still wanna hire him,
Yeah, we're paying for that.
you know, so that,
The CDL.
For our roads, secondary
Yeah.
roads.
Yeah.
so at least that gives you an option that you might draw somebody in that doesn't have a CDL.
And then you always get the one guy who you already turned down 3 times, you know.
So, we get that all the time. But that pool's smaller and smaller all the time, and you're not getting,
You can't make one have it and the other one not.
what's your starting wage at the courthouse, like for courthouse? Do you have
No
a,
idea.
Your clerks.
like your
Is it
clerks,
Michelle?
do you have a starting wage?
For
Like clerks in
Hiring
the
a
courthouse?
clerk.
50, 55?
Well,
No.
I don't know what it is now. I think
It's 40-something because,
when I started, it was 49.
yeah, I think that's right about where it is.
I don't know if it's gone up or if that's where it was too.
So see, we're way,
$18 an hour.
we're way under that.
49,000? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're 20, that's 23.
We're way over, we're way under
We're,
on
we're
that.
We just
18.
had to bump the jailers up $2 an hour
$2 an
last
hour
year
to
because
keep
we were
jailers.
losing so many
No,
of them.
we've been doing that too.
Look at how things are going up.
Well, now that
Dispatchers too, we just bumped
Yeah.
dispatchers.
we're
When I
looking
started
at
as a
that now.
dispatcher, I was making $16 an hour.
We're up to 22, I think.
And see, I did encourage that.
That's supervisor.
That's a time when I did want to pay more money.
So we're, Woodbury County deputies, we got them live right here in town. They can drive their vehicles right here, so
We're
that
having the same problem.
we're gonna be dealing with
Pot
that.
County,
Yeah.
Same thing.
We've
They'll
lost
take
some
a
good
vehicle
ones.
home.
yeah.
We don't let them take the vehicle home. We do have a couple who live outside the county, but they gotta leave the vehicle in the county.
yeah,
The
drive.
deputies do.
So they leave in Missouri Valley.
We don't have any that. drive
No, they all
around.
live in the county. But that competition, when they can offer more out of Woodbury County, that we
That's what
can't
happens
compete.
to us too.
But look how big they are. I mean,
We
they
lost one to
can do
Woodbury
it.
County. He lives in Monona County.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately, of course, I work in the private
Moved there
sector.
for Monona, the job.
I can't believe they pay me as much as they do now for what I did 15 years ago.
Right.
But I mean, it's just, That's how it is. You're paying school superintendents,
Yeah, what do they get for two
oh,
or
geez,
three
I think ours
schools?
is $250.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you go to Omaha, and they have one superintendent for the whole system.
Yeah.
In Harrison County, we've got
Four
6 school
super- yeah.
systems and 6 superintendents.
Now, somebody was talking to me about that the other day, but why don't we share a superintendent in our counties? Like,
If you go back to what,
Ottawa and Mondamon share now.
yeah,
and why?
Ottawa, Whiting, and Mondamon all share with the same superintendent.
He's top notch.
I'm older than both, but when I was a kid, there was a county school superintendent. There was one for the county,
Yeah.
and now every school's got one.
And nobody can really tell me what the superintendent does.
I'm not gonna go there.
I was part of the hiring committee.
Depends on the guy.
My personal thing is, I don't care how good an engineer you are, you got 3 schools, you're not doing your job. That's just my own, I was on the school board before.
Yeah.
You got too many, I don't care how many students you got, there's too many numbers, buildings. Somewhere, something is lacking, because you can't cover that much, in my opinion, and do a good job.
Back in my day, the principals were more like the superintendent positions.
Correct.
Because the teachers handed out the discipline.
Yep.
But all the students were in one classroom too.
Yeah.
Not that far back.
Not that far back.
Yeah,
One
country
room.
school.
That was a good.
You laugh, when I was in school, we had, at one point, we had 5th and 6th grade together.
Yep.
I mean, it wasn't one room, but
I-
6th grade in the same room.
We're interested in working with you guys. I mean, we appreciate the opportunity to maybe look at making a deal, but I think we could, it sure looks to me like we could save each county some money and not hinder the results in that. I know like Adair County, when I talked to him, he talked very highly of John. He knows him quite well. And they're about the same age, and he said, we have no issues at all. It's worked out quite well.
Do you know what they pay their engineer?
I don't off the top of my head. I
Between the
don't
two
know.
counties?
You gotta remember that Adams County is a small swim.
Right, it is.
It is. But, you know,
Still got the same regulations as we got.
They do.
yeah,
I mean, that's why you need an engineer.
we look back on
Can't do it without
how
it.
many projects have we had. I mean, we have, I don't think we have the projects that maybe you guys do. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but it's not like we have that many projects on at any given time, but
Yeah, and the counties are pretty similar as far as.
Money's
the
not
layout.
there, you can't do them all.
yeah, you can't, yeah. And
Both
I
have
think
very
we
well
also,
balanced.
we all understand too, if there's projects down in Harrison County and there's a week that he don't make it up here, heck,
Is what it is.
It's
it's
gonna
stuff,
work the other way around.
it's all managed and it's taken care of, we don't really care about that. Our superintendent's the guy that we would be dealing with
Yep.
on, you know, in that
Day to
respect.
day Anyway.
So that, I don't see where that would be an issue at all, and I don't think we're definitely not shorting our taxpayers by doing that, because we'd be getting a better job than what we've had in the past.
And if we feel like we are short the taxpayers, there's 30 days that we can get out.
Exactly.
Right.
Because otherwise,
If
like
we
I
get an
said,
assistant going and get him trained
Mhm.
for that down the road deal, that's saving us money right there.
And it's
I don't
planning
care.
for the
That's,
best.
It is.
planning for the future.
Just getting our projects done for it.
No
It's
different
kind
than
of-
a
it's kind of a-
5-year
Unusual
deal on
government
your
thing they should
graders or
look at.
whatever.
You know,
You
government
compare
has
it.
to
right.
put fires out all the time. And
You're right.
I think it's important to look at.
but if you've got the right individual, that's who you want to train that
Yes.
person. Now you can be selective on who you hire as a assistant. If they don't work out, get rid of them, you know.
And John wrote this agreement up, and I think he knows exactly what needs to be done. And-
Yeah, he copied a lot of this from the Clinton review.
Yeah. So
Well, and I think the biggest thing, to me, was the big opportunity is the fact that he came from a county that, he's handled this. It's not like you're dealing with a guy from a small county that's wanting to take this on and not realizing what it's gonna entail. That's worth a
The
lot.
difference will be is he'll have 2 budgets
Yeah,
versus last, when he was
Yeah,
in
and he- and
Potawatomi
he's-
County, he had 1.
right. But,
he had a lot of trouble with our budget because it was not done correctly on DOT state, so he had to rework the whole thing. But now he's got that done. Yours is probably done that way already, so.
we're gaining on it every time we have we have really good,
3 different people doing it in the last 4 years, so.
Well, that's true.
we have really good, consultation with WHKS that was a county engineer, and so in the time that we've been vacant of an engineer, we've actually made quite a bit of progress by correcting things and putting things where they should be, and so it hasn't been like we're just sitting there spinning our wheels when we're without one.
How long have you been without one?
February 18th.
Oh, so not too different one.
No.
Not this time.
The
Not this
one
time, the
before
time before
we
was
set
over a
for
year.
Year and a half.
year and a half.
Oh, shoot, so does that mean you're way behind on projects?
No,
We didn't have any projects.
we didn't have it.
Just one.
We had the one, and it got started with this one, so we can
had
sign.
one that we got dropped, Hungry Canyons project.
And that's the one that got started with this one later than we
Trying to
wanted
get
it.
Finished up
Now,
now.
that was the first thing in the project, it'd be 2 years to July, they ain't done
Yep.
yet.
Did Hungry Canyons drop you?
Nope.
The
No,
DOT
it's
wouldn't
on
let
hold.
us, it was all ready to be put out for bids and everything, and they, nope, you don't have a county engineer. So it's interesting, it's already started, so who we contracted with, WHKS, they can sign off on it, because it's already started. But if it hadn't started, they wouldn't let us, and we don't have anything out, what, 2029
A big one.
is the biggest,
Yeah.
any projects coming up.
K-45.
Well, we're loaded with projects, we're so far behind on bridges right now.
And we were borrowed ahead 3 years, so
Yeah.
the changing of guard in our engineer's office, it helped us gain a year back. And John wants to build that back so that that's a reserve. If you need it,
Mhm.
the money's there.
So we don't, it's not like we're sitting here with a whole bunch of projects. We need somebody to step in so we can get
Stand,
rolling
yeah.
on them.
Keep thing going forward.
Get some grant money for us, I mean,
I think it'll work well.
it's out there.
K-45 is probably our first priority right now, at doing something on K-45 from Monona North.
Yes.
You know, and at one time we talked about, and I'm just throwing that as an example, but if that's something we could do between counties, maybe, you know, in a case like that, you would gear up, hey, we're gonna do K-45 up here, you've got some work on K-45 or whatever, look at the savings that could bring
I don't know
in.
why that got left out, because they did that grant that went from Sergeant Bluff to Highway 30, but for some reason, that stretch got
They
left
didn't,
out.
yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Well, Brian can tell you where every pothole is in K-45, so.
Yeah.
I can't, because I drive a Peterbilt, so I don't feel them. The guys in Freightliners, they call you.
They can tell us, huh?
Yeah.
But we owe you a number.
Yeah, we'll get it on the
Yeah,
agenda Thursday.
A number and approval from our end to move
And
forward.
otherwise, I think we're in agreement on the other stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, I think it.
Do the mileage thing, and that's not hard to log, I mean, that's,
Yeah, that'll give you
I guess that's-
money to buy the next pickup.
Hey, you wanna pay quarterly, monthly?
I think
Yeah,
quarterly.
Quarterly's fine.
Depend on how they wanna handle
Well,
it.
that's, I mean, what works better for you though, I mean.
It'd be secondary roads that would be paying it, so
Okay.
Let's,
just have to get it set up and they would
Megan,
just.
ask Megan, Michelle.
What's that?
You can ask
Sure, Megan's okay
Megan,
with
which
that.
is easier.
Whatever she wants to choose.
monthly or quarterly.
Just ask her which one she prefers.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you guys are kinda setting it up, I think we go either way.
Yeah,
Well,
we be flexible.
I don't know if the contract said, I didn't remember that part. We talked about 2 days, 2.5 days.
Yeah.
I mean, but that doesn't mean, like, if he's working on a project in our,
It's not set in stone.
he can be down.
We understand
Yeah.
that. 'Cause he,
Preferably, that's the
when I
perfect
talked,
world, but it isn't.
when we'd met that day, he kinda talked two and two, and then one day was a float. That way he could float, but we also talked like, you know, you got projects down there, he might be down there all week for a couple of weeks.
I think his biggest thing was he wants to be here Tuesday and there Thursday.
Right. And that works out good with our board meetings,
Yeah.
that works out really well for us. And I'm sure there'll be a little more time spent getting familiar with the county, so I would assume that initially, he might be up here those three days a week for a while.
But you know, he's a guy that you can trust and he will manage it properly and,
That's worth a lot.
yeah, he's a ton.
You're right.
All right.
So I think we can, I think we're pretty much in agreement on the other stuff, and with the 30-day, you have the 30-day, you know, you want out of it, if it ain't working, it ain't working.
Do you want Haley to review that too?
Right, whatever, what we would like to do is whatever we do decide to go with, then we'd like to have our county attorney look
Okay,
through it,
sure.
just, you know,
We
just
will
for
too.
opinion, same
Yeah, but
way
I
with
think
you guys.
our attorney already has it.
He's okay with it, yeah.
Okay.
It'll come down to donuts.
He's got the best bakery.
You'll have to send donuts with John.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
There he
coming
goes.
up here, you
Yeah.
gotta send donuts with him.
I'll buy you.
You know, and that'd be
I'll
the
buy
next
donuts
thing
no
if we-
matter what happens.
I think the next step, if, you know, if you guys come up with a figure, then we talk, and then probably, I think the next step would be, either we meet with John, or John comes up here and we all meet.
I'll join you.
Do you guys go there?
Or we go down there and meet with, you know, so that way he knows who he's talking
We can road
to.
trip and bring donuts with us.
We want
And
you to
then
come down there for.
Tom can bring donuts.
Yeah, we just have a joint meeting or something.
Yeah,
Iron it out.
but I mean, to be fair to him, I would think that would be the next step,
Absolutely.
once you,
Well, that way, if we're gonna sign a contract, we're all right
All
there,
in one
and
place.
it's all done.
right,
Right.
we're all on the same
Good to go.
page, everybody's, you know, so.
So basically, we have to decide what we want, and John has to agree.
Yep.
And then once John agrees to
Then you
whatever we
present that
come up
to
with,
us on,
we
here's
present-
what we're willing
Present
to
it to
do.
us, and we'll go through it, and,
Okay,
Yeah.
get it reviewed.
sounds easy, don't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's one of the easier ones we've had, for sure, yeah.
Is that
A
everything?
lot of potential benefits for both counties, I think.
I do too.
And, you know, originally when we were looking, I didn't understand it at the time. We thought, well, just reach out to adjoining county, hey, can you help us out? Well, looking back now, it makes sense. Why would they do that? They're working a 40-hour week in their county. They're gonna have to take vacation time, plus work more hours to come help you out. Nobody's gonna do that.
Yeah, when our previous engineer was there, we talked about it, and nope, I don't get paid for that, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so see, they'd have to do all in addition to their
Yes.
full schedule, but you talk about sharing, that becomes a different deal. Now you're,
still got his free time.
Yeah,
Right.
and this proposal came from the engineer, from John, so that makes me feel pretty.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is he has to be on board.
oh, I agree.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because if he's not, it ain't gonna work. No.
Okay.
Thank you for coming up.
You bet.
God, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you
Love to drive
giving
up
us a
there.
shot at it.
You'll hear from us soon. Our people will call your
Got our
people.
fingers,
Yeah.
got our fingers crossed.
We have to adjourn our section of the meeting?
That's their meeting.
Yeah,
We're
it's
just
part of
here.
their meeting.
Yep,
We already
You're just
approved the
a dot on the agenda.
yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you
Take
three
care.
so much. All four, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
John, did